23-year-old WBO junior middleweight champion Xander Zayas is rumored to be come back in January and have a fight on his home turf, his backyard of Puerto Rico. And instead of having an easy, light touch for his first title defense, he is rumored to want to take on a more ambitious feat, and that's a unification bout. And speaking of his ambition, I actually had the pleasure of talking to him, and I said this to him. Man, I appreciate your time, man. I want to say one more thing to you. Yes, you're a young guy, and I know you're very ambitious, but man, just take your time with it.
I got you, brother.
Yeah, I think you're going. Yes, I think you really will make waves in the 154.
Thank you very much, and I'm excited. I'm excited for the future.
And now, while I commend him for being ambitious, I love it. You know what I'm saying? We want to see more of this in boxing, but I don't want him to be recklessly ambitious, because that's such a thing too. You want to be cautiously ambitious. And if he takes on this champion for unification next, whoo, that's going to be a tough one, because this dog has a pretty big bite.
Hello guys, this is Rolly Romero.
Yo, my name is Nonito Donaire.
What's up guys, it's Xander Zayas.
We're here with Bob Santos Boxing.
And I rock with Dr. Boxing Talk.
I want to give a quick shout out to Dr. Boxing Talk.
And I want to give a big shout out to Dr. Boxing Talk. Thank you for all the love, thank you for all the support.
You're rocking with Dr. Boxing Talk. Get your daily news from my man right here, the best in the business. Let's get it, baby.
All day, baby.
Amen.
Bam!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you'll say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, what's good, Boxing Talk family? Welcome back to your favorite boxing news channel, Dr. Boxing Talk. We are back for another YouTube video. Banger, man. Yes, sir. Yes, man. I don't know what time it is. Doctor's in the house, man. So check this out. But before we get to it, let's go ahead and smack that like button. Let's do it together. Appreciate you. That helps us to keep going and growing on this YouTube platform, and it's free. BTF, rise up. So this morning, we have received news that Xander Zayas is slated to come back in January, to defend his belt of that WBO at the 154 junior middleweight division, right? And it was rumored to be against his stablemate in Giovani Santillan. Giovani Santillan, who was on the losing end of a homecoming defense against Brian Norman Jr. Yeah, it went down like this.
Trying to stay undefeated. Oh my! The young man from Atlanta.
Phil look like he dead.
Oh no. He's not dead, he's drunk.
Boy, that was crazy. Shout out to Brian Norman, who's also a WBO champion, but at the welterweight division 147, right? But Giovani Santillan was, being discussed heavily as a first title defense at 154 for Xander Zayas. But the young Xander Zayas, he's saying, man, I don't really want that. How do I know this? Well, according to an official who wants to remain anonymous, and you know what they say about anonymity, right? When you want to keep your anonymity, it's probably because you're either lying or you're saying some shit that you ain't supposed to say. It might be a combination of both. But anyway, we're going to keep this person anonymous. The official that spoke on this, he said that Xander Zayas, he doesn't want to have a light touch for his first homecoming defense. He said he wants to have a serious fight because he's ambitious, right? And this is what I talked about, because I pay attention to boxing. When I had the pleasure of interviewing Xander Zayas, I spoke to him about this ambition. I told him, you're young, be ambitious, but also take your time with it. You see what I'm saying? Just like I showed you in the intro. He's a dope person, man. Dope champ. I'm always rooting for him. But this next person that he's targeting, coincidentally, the same place that I interviewed Xander Zayas at that fight was where this guy was, and the reason why he's being targeted. Check it out. If you remember, Xander Zayas hopped in the ring after Abass Baraou, the Togolese fighter out of Germany. He beat Jonas Tellis for an upset, right? And that same night, Xander Zayas, who anticipated, just like majority of people, Jonas Tellis to win, he hopped in the ring and had a face off. But this time it was unexpectedly the underdog in Abass Baraou. And I'm really high on Abass Baraou, man. The 30-year-old, like I said, Togolese fighter out of Germany. He has now been elevated to the full WBA champ, as we knew that would happen because Terrence Crawford, once he fought Canelo Alvarez, right, he was going to be stripped of his 154-pound WBA title that he won off of Israel Madrimov. So everything's right on schedule. Abass Baraou has been elevated, and they had a little face-off with Xander Zayas already, and that's who Xander Zayas wants for his homecoming defense. He wants a unification. Now that's crazy. Your first defense to be a unification, kudos to him, man. But I also want to say that both of these guys are dogs, and I will say that from the superior skill set, I would lean towards Xander Zayas. But man, some things you just can't teach, and you cannot teach somebody to have that dog in him. And Abass Baraou has proven that he has that X factor, that go get him in him. So I think this is a very good fight, man. I like them both, like both fighters, WBA, WBO champion, Abass Baraou, Xander Zayas, respectively. I don't know who would win, man. I really think this is a toss-up, a 50-50 fight. I'm not even sure, to be honest, that Top Rank will really go through with this, because they're very high on Xander Zayas. And, you know, a lot of times with Top Rank, you know, we've seen it before, that they like to protect their fighters, at least at the beginning stages or early on in their careers. But things are changing, right? We see Brian Norman, who's another champion that's young with the WBO, just like Xander Zayas, and also with Top Rank, just like Xander Zayas. He's going against Devin Haney. That's kind of going against the norm for Top Rank, right? You're going against the norm for Top Rank, right? You know, and then so Xander Zayas, following that blueprint, maybe they're gonna let him go do what he wants to do, because you know there's a lot of money in highly competitive fights these days, and that's being more encouraged, and I love it, you know what I'm saying, especially with the influence of Turkey Al-Sheikh. Hopefully he keeps doing what he's supposed to do, but you know, sometimes that's a little shaky too. But anyway, the point is that, you know, with Top Rank losing their ESPN deal, and they're supposed to be finalizing the deal shortly, you know, in the near future, in the imminent future as well, we have Xander Zayas saying he's going to have a defense in January. So we'll see where that fight lands as far as broadcasting goes. And that could potentially be another hiccup or another obstacle that they have to cross in order to make this unification fight happen. But, you know, Abass Baraou, he doesn't really have that big of a backing behind him. So those obstacles are probably easier to circumvent and go around and maneuver around, you know what I'm saying? So this fight could potentially happen. Do I think it's going to happen? If you ask me right now, do I think that the young Xander Zayas, 23-year-old champion for the WBO for Top Rank, his first defense would be a unification against the newly crowned 30-year-old Togolese Abass Baraou, fighting out of Germany, the WBA champion? I don't foresee that happening as his first defense, but if it does happen, oh man, I got to salute to everybody involved, especially the two fighters, Abass Baraou, Xander Zayas. Like I said, I think it's a 50-50 fight. I do think that Xander Zayas is more skillful, but I do think that the 30-year-old Abass Baraou, he has experience right on his side, because he's been in there as an underdog already on the big stage, and he upset the apple cart. So I think he already has that dog in him. He's proven it. Xander Zayas, you know, he's fought guys like Patrick Teixeira. You know, he won the belt off of Jorge Garcia Perez, excuse me. And then he also fought guys like Damian Sosa and stuff like that. So he fought guys that are pretty good, but I wouldn't, no disrespect to them, I wouldn't call them quite championship level caliber guys yet. Abass Baraou fighting Jonas Tellis. Like I said, a lot of people were big on Jonas Tellis, including myself. And Abass Baraou, man, I knew that was going to be a tough fight. But Abass Baraou, he pretty much dominated that fight, including knocking him down in the 12th and final round. So he was almost stopped. So Abass Baraou, man, this would be a good fight. I can't look over either one. I would say going in, the experience is on Abass Baraou's side. You know, he's been in the ring with guys like Jack Koke as well, another veteran. But I would say that the skill and the skill would be on Xander Zayas' side. But you can have skill all day, but are you ready to apply it when the tough gets going? You know what I'm saying? When that heat gets turned up in the kitchen, can you still perform? You know, so we're gonna see, man, if this fight actually happens. But like I said, I'm not sure if it's gonna happen. You know, I don't think it would be wise for Top Rank to put their a young title holder and the first title defense during their homecoming in the unification. But if it does happen, I love it, man. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Who do you have winning? Who do you favor? Again, I think it's 50-50 right now. I could give you a further, more in-depth analysis later, but right now I say it's 50-50, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Don't forget to smack that like button, but most importantly, remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.